This here is my lunch for today. Now, it's not because this house has no food in it. There's plenty of food in this house. It is in part because I only woke up about an hour ago and it is currently 4 o'clock. COVID vaccine hits hard. My sleep schedule is still really messed up a week after having recovered from the COVID vaccine, second shot. But I was going to go look for something to eat that wouldn't fill me up too much before supper arrived, and I started thinking about how a lot of people have commented on food insecurity and how people exaggerate about it, and all I could think was, my family doesn't. We are low income, and sometimes this is lunch. Sometimes this is all we can afford because we don't have the money to go out and buy the bread for sandwiches. There have been times in my life where all we would eat for weeks, months even, would be Cheerios for breakfast, peanut butter and jelly for lunch, and mac and cheese in a box for dinner. And that was it, because that was what we could afford, because we had to make a choice between keeping the bills on, going to school, mental health, medications, or food. And if you can get super cheap food that, will feed you, keep you going for one more day, then you had to choose food. You had to choose food because you need the electricity, because it could be the dead of winter and you can't get by without the power. We needed the money for school, for Dama's blood pressure medicine, for Mommy's insulin, for antidepressants, for things like that. We need the money for other things, and sometimes you can't afford food. So it's not just that, you have no money for anything. It's sometimes there's just not enough money to go around for all the needed things. These days my family is better off. We're able to get more luxury items. Sometimes if there's a recipe I want to try that's like, there's one I want to try right now for a soup, a Chinese soup. I want to try making that sometime. There are a lot of specialty ingredients that, because my family lives out in the sticks, we would have to order online and then wait for 3 months to get. If I really wanted to, I could ask if we could get those ingredients and I could try making that soup. And that is a far cry better than my family used to be. We still have rough patches. We still have the occasional month where maybe the adults only get, these crackers and a couple pieces of cheese and an apple. But the kids will get to eat nicely still. And as a result, I've kind of had to learn not to be picky. I am still picky. There are still things that I absolutely will not eat, or things that I try to avoid because they upset my stomach. But sometimes you don't have that luxury. Sometimes you gotta eat what you got, and sometimes what you got is a third a sleeve of crackers, and you gotta live with that. And I think a lot of people will take food for granted, especially if they're first world American like me. You forget, because there are supermarkets full of food. But, especially with inflation and shit. My family's sitting here, we're being told that $15 is going to be the new minimum wage, and all we can think is, but that means milk is going to cost us $7. How the hell are we going to afford to feed ourselves again?